Now, South Africa's President Matamela Cyril Ramaphosa had to leave a May Day rally after workers stormed the stage where he was speaking last weekend. They held up signs demanding a wage increase during a ceremony in the Royal Bafokeng Stadium in Rustenburg in the northwest. Ramaphosa has noted the workers' grievances and he says their actions reflect a more widespread dissatisfaction. Let's talk about this now with the CEO of DonValley Reputation Managers, Cyril, who's joining us virtually from Switzerland. Lucky Solly, he's in Switzerland. Solly, good afternoon. Welcome and thank you very much for your time all the way from Switzerland. Now, the president today publishes regular weekly newsletter. It focuses on workers' issues, particularly after he experienced the anger of the workers at the Steel Sibanye mine at the May Day rally, which was then abandoned. Just from a reputation perspective, I want to begin here with you. Was it the right thing for the president to reflect on that experience today?
Yes, I mean, it is the right thing to refer. What it really does say is that he is aware, at least we can't pretend that Ramaphosa doesn't know about the unhappiness, the frustration, the desperation that is widespread in South Africa. This newsletter says to us, I know what's going on, but the question is not whether or not I know, and it shouldn't stop there. It should be, what is he doing about it? What is his party doing about it? The ANC is responsible for all of this. I mean, I can carry on the sentence from what Ramaphosas said the last time. Ramaphosa is part and parcel of this party. Actually, he's the leader, or it is of a portion of the African National Congress. Then he needs to say, what are we doing about it? But then they're the ones who caused the situation. I mean, I have no idea whether, I do not believe that the solutions that South Africa seek, that the workers seek, will come from the ANC. If we had elections ahead of us, of course, they would throw peanuts at them and make them forget the problem. But the problems are a lot more fundamental than just salaries that they might give or not give. The employers might give to these employees. Yeah,
well, the employers are sticking to their stance, saying 850 and no more. Workers are still this morning demanding 1,000 rand. My colleague Hadi Jokos was reporting to us from there a short while ago. But the president in his weekly newsletter goes on to talk about other interventions, other attempts by government. But he seems to be saying we can't do it alone. We need a partnership of sorts with you, Labour, with you, private business, and us to try and resolve this going forward. Because he says you are suffering and the hardships are very big for all of us.
Look, if there's anything I can give Ramaphosa is that he always says the right things, and there's a way that he says things that would make you feel, wow, this man is with me, he understands my pain. But that's what he's good at. He's not good at acting. And, well, the truth of the matter is that, of course, government cannot do a lot of this, solve all of these problems on its own. It needs labor, it needs all the other sectors of society. But it cannot get the support that it needs if it doesn't generate the kind of goodwill. South African government under the ANC has lost a lot of goodwill over time. People don't trust them. They have done everything to lose the trust. So I don't know how, even those people who go to Ramaphosa's so-called investment summits, I mean, how many of them have they had? How many jobs have they created? Where is the money going to that he keeps posting about having raised? So the thing is, people are not trustworthy, are not trusting of this government to work with it, to put their all in it. They're going to have to work again at gaining trust. I do not see them achieving that, honestly, not ahead of the next elections. So he will continue being good at saying the right things. He's the kind of guy you want to like, but he's actually consistently pays the African National Congress ahead of what's good for South Africa, and that is a problem.
Yeah, he mentions trust in his newsletter. I mean, you've just mentioned the word about people are not trusting. And he says, and I'm quoting here, he says, the road ahead will be difficult and there is much work to do. That is why we need to rebuild trust and confidence, and why we need to forge a social compact, not only has the support of workers, but also delivers meaningful benefits to them. The workers have spoken, we must listen, and together we must act. But it's not like the workers have not spoken before in different ways at different times. So what should be different this time? What do you think he should come across to show that things can be different? What do you think, Soli?
Well, it's really hard for Ramaphosa to get the right things done when his own party is not able to speak in one voice. There's on the one side the people who have coalesced around Jacob Zuma, who are very much intent on removing Ramaphosa. So he's not able to say, I speak for the entire ANC, because he knows he can't speak for the entire ANC. But South Africa is not able to move forward when the governing party, or the misgoverning party, if you want, is not able to stand as one and say, this is the way, this is the direction we're taking. We've thought about this. We've consulted all our partners in labor and in business. This is the right way to go. It can't, because the party itself is not able to agree on anything. So Ramaphosa has been speaking since he came into power. He's been giving beautiful speeches since he came into power. But things are not getting better in South Africa, not just for the workers. What used to be petty criminality in the country has become armed criminality. People stop you in the road and with guns and knives to take stuff from you. There's levels of desperation, levels of unemployment, levels of hunger out there. Poverty are huge and they're high, and they're not going to get better. So he can't solve these problems alone. He is correct in saying that, but he can't even get other people to truly, honestly hold his hands and that of the African National Congress, at least the part of it that he leads, while they cannot trust him. They need to start working on generating goodwill, but I do not see them getting there.
Yeah, one aspect that I heard him being praised for by some workers on Sunday is that he actually left the stage and went to address that group of workers at close quarters to say, what are your frustrations, what's going on? But that's fine. But looking at the newsletter, Soli, you are a reputation expert. He's been writing these weekly newsletters for months now, covering all kinds of topics and themes and subjects about South Africa and his work and so on. And currently, do you think, is he beginning to connect with them, just taking out of this example, or something else needs to give? I mean, let's remember, it is an election year within his governing party. Come December, the ANC will hold its national conference. There's that small matter of the policy conference as well for the governing party that's to come mid-year, June or July, I think. And very soon, the party has said it will publish its policy discussion documents for the public like you and me to contribute, for example, to it. This newsletter, I mean, from a reputation perspective, is it a good platform for him? Does it make him come across as somebody who's really connecting with the South Africans, those who consume the platform?
Yeah, look, if you compare Ramaphosa to Mbeki before him, Mbeki was known to write or at least co-write some of his speeches. I'm not sure that Ramaphosa does this. I don't know to what extent he plays a part in the composition of the newsletter. The newsletter is a good one. There's no doubt about it. I think he must continue writing the newsletter, but he must go beyond beautiful words and poetry and start doing some of the things that you can't consistently say to people, I see your pain, I understand your pain, this is what we're going to do, without showing them that you're doing something. Ramaphosa's party is filled with, there's so much work to be done. There are so many people that he should have gotten rid of that he can't get rid of. We have no idea where the ANC is going in. So, of course, he says he has one eye on what's going on in December. Are they going to remove him? To what extent? What kind of promises can he make? Can he make long-term promises? Long-term means up to the 2024 elections, or must he just be looking good ahead of the 2022 ANC elections? We do not know. The newsletter is a good thing. It's a good thing to acknowledge that he knows the problems, the pain, the desperation out there, but it's not enough. He needs to start acting, and he's not able to act because he's lost all the goodwill that he could have had as a president and as a party, because we know he doesn't make decisions. I mean, he's a coward. I'm sorry. He sits on the fence all the time. He says beautiful things, but he doesn't act, even against people in his own party who do wrong against the interests of South Africa and the South Africans. He doesn't act. So the goodwill that he had when he first came into power, a lot of it has diminished. I don't see him regaining that goodwill. Words alone do not suffice.
Writing a beautiful newsletter saying workers have spoken, you have listened is good. Listening on its own is no longer sufficient. You need to act to be seen to be taking the right action. Thank you very much for your insights and time. Soli Moeng, he's of course the CEO of DonValley Reputation Managers.